I hope everybody's doing fine today. Today we're going to be talking about emergency backup power. Coming right up. Well, in an emergency, you need to have some kind of power to power your devices. We never know when these things are going to occur, so it's always good to have these on hand at any time. Um, Whether it be a ice storm taking down your power lines, or a hurricane, or a flood, or tornado, what have you. One of the best things to have on hand is this right here. Many of you know what it is. It's a jump starter for your car. This particular one has a excuse me, has a yeah, air compressor in it so you can air up your tires. It also has a USB port for charging your cell phones, tablets, what have you. It's also got a inverter in it so you can power small electronic items uh, from 110. Now you can't power like major power tools or anything like that. Small lamps, different things like that. And this one, oh, it's also got a cigarette lighter plug. So if you have an item that plugs into your cigarette lighter adapter, or if you have a car charger for your cell phone, you can have more than one USB port. Now this particular one also has an AM/FM radio built in, which is nice because if power goes out, you want to stay in contact, and if you don't have another battery operated radio, this one will work for you. Plus, jumpstart your car. Okay, then I have another item here. Is a homemade one. I'll put some pictures up and show you some of the components that I used for this. This one's also got a cigarette lighter plug, and it's got two USB ports, and you just turn it on. And I also have a volt and amp meter built into it, so you can keep an eye on the battery voltage. There's two 12 volt 12 amp hour batteries in here. And this is what I'm using to keep those battery banks charged. This is the Harbor Freight 45 watt solar panel system. It's a very good system for first time people that just getting into working with solar. I think I paid right around 120 for this. So if you're thinking about using solar to keep a battery bank charged, you might look into this. Now, as many of you know, I'm a ham radio operator. In those emergency circumstances, a lot of times your cell phones won't work. So I don't mean to harp on this, but I suggest everybody think about getting your ham radio license. But now this isn't going to do you any good if the battery goes dead and you have no way of charging it. So what I have is this pack here. The battery slips off the back of this, and you can slip this pack on. Now this one is made to hold AA batteries. So you could throw some AA batteries in that and power up your radio. Now if you don't have AA batteries and your battery goes dead, you can get a device like this. It's got a cigarette lighter plug on one end, which would hook into either one of those battery backups that I showed you, and you'll be able to power your ham radio from that. Now, something that a lot of people don't think about is your car. You have a car that hopefully, if it's something that you can predict, like a storm coming in or tornado weather, hurricane weather, you've gassed up your vehicle. Okay, you can plug these into your vehicle and use them in there. You can also get a good power inverter to hook onto your car, start up your car, hook the power inverter up, and you can run some of your appliances. Of course, you'd have to get some extension cords. Then, just a good old flashlight for backup power. This one here cranks to charge it up, and it also comes with a cigarette lighter adapter that plugs in here, the female end of a cigarette lighter adapter. So you can put one of these in there, or one of your car chargers for your telephone. Then we have one of these. These come in many, many sizes. This is a very old one. I don't have a smartphone. Believe it or not, I still use an old flip phone. I love it. I've got smartphones, but I just use them on Wi-Fi. But this one here is a really old one, and this will charge my flip phone. So if my flip phone goes dead, this will charge it up at least once. It's always good to have batteries on hand for whatever devices you may have. It's also good to have an assortment, because if your next door neighbor needs a couple batteries, it's nice to be neighborly and help them out and be able to make sure your neighbors are being able to communicate or what have you. Now you've all seen this radio. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen this radio, and this has the crank generator, the solar panel, plus you get a kit for this where you can plug it into your cell phone, your tablet, whatever, and charge it. Same way with the other one with the crank. So it's always good to have backups for your backups. So in other words, if my battery pack goes dead, the jump starter or the black one that I made, I can still crank and charge up my phone enough to make a few phone calls if I need be. That's if the phones are still up. Now I'll link to my video on emergency communications right up here, I think. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, subscribe, hit that little bell. Next time we upload a video, you'll be amongst the first to know. I want to thank you for watching. You have a good evening.